If the Festival of Football starting this weekend in our biggest city is a low-risk event, why are there still so many restrictions in place elsewhere?
They range from limits on numbers at weddings to how long you can book into a pub, to going to your kids' nursery graduation. More on that in a moment. But that's not all. We'll hear tonight about a cruise ship being unable to dock in Greenock and about care homes receiving new advice that residents should wear face masks at all times in shared spaces.
Despite all those measures, the organisers of Glasgow's Euro fan zone, where 3,000
passengers today that would not be happening. Sick cruises cannot restart until the whole of Scotland is in level 1 when it comes to COVID restrictions, and said that around 75% of all of those passengers on board are doubly vaccinated.
US President Joe Biden has just landed in the UK and he brings a warning for Boris Johnson. Sort out your post-Brexit deals and protect the Good Friday Agreement. Why? Well, the EU and the UK are at loggerheads over post-Brexit. The dispute is over how goods go in and out of Northern Ireland. The Brexit deal includes an agreement that products making that journey from Britain would be checked before they cross the sea.
It's all about preventing a hard border in Ireland. The movement of some products, chilled meat for example, will be banned. The EU doesn't allow those products into its market from outside. A 6-month grace period is due to expire at the end of this month. After that, sausages, chicken nuggets and the like can't move legally between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. That's just one of the issues that EU and UK leaders were discussing today in a meeting which ended without any breakthrough. The BBC's Deputy Political Editor Vicky Young has this report.
Well, Boris Johnson apparently dislikes the phrase special relationship, but that's how the transatlantic bond we formed with America since the Second World War has become known. It's a partnership that would have its ups and downs, but it was scarcely warmer than in the 80s. Margaret Thatcher and President Ronald Reagan struck a special bond in their opposition to communism and the Soviet Union in the teeth of the Cold War. His wife, Nancy, said they were political soulmates. We don't know for sure whether Tony Blair danced with Bill Clinton, but they were certainly in step when it came to the war in Kosovo and over the Northern Ireland peace process. And who can forget this partnership? Tony Blair and George W. Bush. It's one that will forever be associated with the decision to intervene in Afghanistan and Iraq after 9/11. Blair famously said the UK would be shoulder to shoulder with the US. It was an allegiance that would fracture his party and the country. David Cameron and Barack Obama mostly saw eye to eye. Mr. Cameron said Obama would even call him bro. And as for Theresa May and Donald Trump, well, dysfunctional just about sums it up. She criticised him for his tweets. He criticised her for her Brexit policy. Mr. Trump was more fond of Boris Johnson. The question now is whether the current PM holds the same appeal for the new president and whether that really matters these days.
Well, Philip Hammond knows more than most about these matters. A former Foreign Secretary, he worked closely with the Obama. Now then, as we well know, it is almost a quarter of a century since Scotland's men qualified for a major football tournament. That was, of course, the World Cup in France way back in 1998. Far too long.
But even before the hope and despair of that campaign, the game of football and the country were changing, as the Nine's chief news correspondent James Cook has been finding out.
Gosh, really interesting, isn't it?
Really interesting, really thought-provoking stuff, and a lot of nostalgia in there. Bringing things back for you.
I was in the stadium for the game in Paris against Brazil, and it feels like 23 years ago, but it really puts it into context. The whole country has changed massively. It's a long time since we've been in a tournament like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And how much did you love Emmy at the end there?
I had to tackle my own teammates.
To tackle her own teammates for the ball. That girl's going to go far.
That's how you would expect, isn't it? Yeah, well done. Well, listen, for more on all this, I'm sure here is Laura McGee with the sport.
Yes, we're continuing on the football theme. Thank you very much. Good evening. There are just 2 days to go until the start of the European Championship and Scotland.
All right, Laura, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now then, it's time to talk about Scotland's Home of the Year.
Yes, and before we go any further, we should issue a spoiler alert here. If you haven't watched tonight's final yet, you should leave the room for the next 5 minutes or so and make yourself a cup of tea or something. If you did watch it, then you'll know that Karen Wellstead took home the crown for her Georgian renovation in Killearn. Here's the moment she found out.
Well,
it is something we just love to do, isn't it? Have a nose round other people's
Yeah,
homes.
it's nosy people.
Yeah, definitely.
Nosy people. I tell you what, I've become an expert in the past 18 months is feigning interest in colour palettes. What do you think about these different
say
shades
yes.
of white? Yep. Yeah. No, I'm a master at it. It's never whichever. It's that one.
Indeed. I think there'll be a lot of people actually their ears pricked up when she said she's got another project thinking, is that house going to go up for sale soon?
Yeah.
Save our cash.
Yeah, you'd need to save quite a lot of cash,
I think
would
you would.
imagine. Chris Blanchett, you told us to expect humidity this Wednesday, and the whole place reeked of humidity
It
today.
really
We could
did.
smell it.
Oh, the East is the place to be at the weekend by the looks of it.
I can testify, don't look directly at an eclipse. Me and Donald Trump, two veterans of the burned retina, from doing exactly that.
Thank you
Daft
very
as a
much.
brush. Right, thanks, Chris. That is it from us for tonight. Rebecca's back tomorrow.
I am indeed with Connor. Thank you very much,
I'll-
as always, for watching.
I'll see you next week. Good night.
Thanks.